Hello everyone. Hi amigos, amigas. My name is Vanessa Vasquez. I am your Lima City tour guide. Today we are going to participate of Pride in Lima, Peru. This beautiful international parade that also happens in Lima, in the capital of Peru, every June as a commemoration also of the activism that happened first in the United States and the Stonewall in tragedy, and then also we have here other events that are connected with the activism of the gay community in the world, but this one is indeed the most important. So today I am in company of my daughter Valeria. Valeria is a 13-year-old young lady who is also very, very eager to support the gay community, and I'm very proud of her, by the way. So Valeria, what is your opinion about Pride in Peru?
No le veo ningún problema a esto realmente. Al final todos somos seres humanos. Ser lo que eres no es malo, tampoco no te convierte en malo. Amor es amor.
Love is love. We are going together to be your hosts in today's event that I am recording especially for you all, my friends from all over the world. So well, I hope you enjoy this event, and we're going to get to see the highlights of Pride in Peru. So, are you ready to see this? Let's go, vamos! Today we are joining Pride in Peru. Is 2022, 2 years after the beginning of the pandemic of COVID-19, and here we are in sort of like a combination of the old world and the new world. The time before the pandemic taught us a lot, so we're going to see probably some new things that we haven't seen in other parades in Peru. But the first impressions I have is, well, first of all, lots of people. It's going to be a multitudinary parade this year. We have lots of people, probably over 50,000 people will be today joining. Our location in this gray winter day of June is next to the amazing Campo de Marte, one of the most beautiful parts of Lima. The Champ de Mars of Lima, or Campo de Marte, is also one of the oldest parks we have in the city. And we're going also to see that, well, the location is indeed perfect for receiving this large number of people that are going to participate of today's Pride. So Pride started in Peru in the year 2002. You're going to see also the big support we are also giving to the community, the LGBTQ plus community in Peru, through, of course, parades like this one. There is also activism in Peru. Not all the people that are today here are gays, lesbians, trans, but we can see also there is support in general of the Limanians towards the community. But when we talk about activism, that's a different thing, no? Activism is, for example, when there are laws that are not approved, like in favor of the community by the Congress. Outside the Congress, there's always activists that are protesting. That number of people is very small. It's reduced, of course, in comparison to the numbers of people that today are in this event. So we are starting this tour in the Buzz Lightyear is here in the bottom part of the event, because I want to show you the event from the back to the front, okay? So also I want to share with you some information about the community in Peru and in the world. And also, let me tell you that very soon I am going to be conducting a live event in my Heigo channel, www.heigo.com/Vanessa, about the history of the gay community in Peru over the time, right? Since the pre-Hispanic times until modern days. So we're going to start our walk, our, let's say, participation of this parade from this section, from the bottom. And I'm so happy to see children with their parents participating. And this also shows the intention of a big change in the country. But Peru is still a conservative country in which usually the government has not been detached from the religion, from Catholic religion, from Christianity. So being gay, being lesbian in Peru, it has been a taboo, and it still is, for part of our society, a taboo, right? So some information about the community in Peru. Well, first of all, just to give you an idea of the big change in terms of our way, how we see the community, how we see the people of the community in countries like mine, for example. About 30 years ago, homosexuality was considered a mental disease by the WHO, by the World Health Organization. So imagine the big transformation, right? And just less years ago, being transsexual also was considered to be, being trans was considered to be a mental disease. No? So, of course, little by little, we are doing baby steps in a position, or in a direction that is more understanding and equalitarian, right? So, if in the United States 30 years ago, being homosexual was considered to be a mental disease, imagine the situation of the community in Peru, right? So, there are still 70 countries in the world that consider homosexuality illegal. But let's talk about Latin America. In Latin America, for example, 24% of the countries of Latin American region are recognizing, only 24% are recognizing same-sex marriage. Peru is not in that group. 67% of the countries of Latin America do not have a law prohibiting the discrimination against LGBT+. We have also another number right here. 64% of the countries in Latin America lack of a legislation concerning to gender identity, right? So we are one of those countries, by the way. So in Peru, the progress is being done slowly, very, very slowly. But we are here to be part of history, my friends. Also, just a little like distracting you from the history. We have, of course, lots of merchandising. These events are usually connected with merchandising, with selling products, with making a little bit of money, and not just in terms of let's say products that are directly connected with the support to the gay community. Also, like products about food. We love food. Wherever you see parades in Peru, you will be always finding food. So we're going to give a look to the souvenirs we have around, but also to the different cars. So what we have here, look at these different cars over here. Let's go across to see what companies are participating of this event. For example, we have the Vale Todo. Vale Todo downtown is a nightclub, very famous in Peru. It's one of the most famous nightclubs, gay nightclubs of Lima. As you can see also, we can get very close to the cars. There's really no problem about that. In other countries, I know, like in the United States, you cannot get any clothes to the parade like this, but here's a little bit more relaxed. That's it. So we have Matt, the makeup brand, that's also participating. We have Vale Todo downtown also. It's a nightclub that I was mentioning. We have staff from the nightclub participating. Also to be part of this parade, you have to also be a sponsor. We have a lot of people. Look at this. This is the section where the trucks can be seen from a better perspective. So the display is in this direction. So we have here the ambassadors of MAC Cosmetics in this section. We have a lot of great music here. The vibe is wonderful. And this also, it recalls to me, for example, the big Pride events in other parts of the world. Woohoo! Yeah! Gracias, gracias. Some famous people, socialites, influencers, people from the television, from the Peruvian television, participating also of this ride. Vale Todo, the nightclub, had to close its doors due to the pandemic, and they reinvented themselves in a really fun way. They opened a mini market, the Vale Todo mini market, that sold different products, like basic necessity products, but attended by drag queens, the drag queens that used to work for the nightclub. So it's really interesting seeing that this business tried to survive doing something that I'm sure they didn't even imagine one day will do, which was selling groceries, selling products. But that's how we have survived in this period, right? Reinventing ourselves. Many people that are participating of these events are not gay, they are not necessarily part of the community, but they are here not because this is more like a sort of like a party feeling and everybody wants to have a good party, everybody wants to, after the pandemic we live, want to be part of the, something different, want to see other people, want to celebrate life. So many people are here, first of all, first instance for that reason. But also there's people that are here because they are connected with people that are part of the community, or because they really want to be part of the change. So we have here Estudio de Belleza El Templo, right? So this is a hairdresser's salon. Oh. Hola, ¿qué tal? So we have here really, really nice. What is this? Bonito, por favor. A ver. So look at this. Todos somos iguales. We all are the same, equal, right? Todos is a new form we are using in Hispanic America to refer to todos and todas. Really interesting. But it's inside, you can imagine what it is, right? We have some capoeira. That's really cool. at this poster over here. Love is love. That's really wonderful. This was given to us for free. Also, this is the type of actions also that show how much people are they're compromised about changing the perspective we have about the gay community and putting in our minds that we have to respect everyone. Doesn't matter their gracias, muy amable. Doesn't matter their sexual preferences. We are humans. Love is love. So Reebok is also participating or sponsoring, these campaigns for creating conscious. Life is out. I'm talking about out, being out of the closet. Showing your your sexual orientation with no fear, right? So this is for creating a message. You can see here people are putting messages here, and they're going to participate of the parade with these messages, right? So this is really interesting. We are going to see also other people that are creating their own posters, the ones they're going to be using for the parade. So, and my daughter is creating her own poster with her favorite phrase, love is love. Gracias, muy amable. Gracias. Okay, so we are ready. ¿Estamos listas, Valeria? We are ready. Reebok is participating in this parade. I want to also mention at this point about the importance of the legislators, the congressmen, congresswomen in permitting us to have these opportunities for expressing support for the community. Although, as I was saying before, Peru is a mainly Catholic country. It's a country that is very conservative. So first of all, one very important detail is that in Peru, although we are more inclined in this moment for, or we have been historically more for right side parties, political parties, most of the congressmen that are supporting the gay community, laws in benefit of the gays, have been from the right, which is really interesting, because in other countries the right is usually connected with a more, like a religious wing and conservative wing, but that's not the case in Peru, right? In the opposite, the left in Peru has been more connected with conservative parties, right? The congressmen that are pro supporting gay rights in Peru are from the right side political parties. We have two congressmen in this moment that are gay, by the way. One of them, Carlos Bruce, was elected congressman before he came out of the closet, before he, let's say, mentioned to the Peruvians about his sexual preference. But still, Peruvians continue supporting him later in a second term as congressman. There's also another congressman, Peruvian congressman, who was, since his political campaign, was openly gay, Alberto de Belaunde, and he was elected congressman. So this is also something really positive for Peru. this is really amazing. The feeling in general of being able for, especially for trans, of owning who they are, coming out dressed up, or in this case, for example, drag queens coming out to the city and dressed up in the most beautiful clothes, in the most beautiful gowns, and not being judged, not being mocked. This is really amazing to me. It really transforms to me the way how I used to see my country, Peruvian society, and the potential we have also in make things better. Red Trans Peru. So here we have the trans flag, and we have the national net for the rights of trans people, transgenders, transsexuals of Peru. Right, so we have here a beautiful bus with lots of people that are participating on this march, on this party, this national celebration, because it's also happening in different parts of Peru at the same time today. We have another bus. It says Salud Integral Sin Prejuicios. Let's say integral health with no prejudice. That injustice have a cure. This is a group that is also doing tests for HIV, and they also organize free tests.
Ella sabe si la beso lo que puede pasar. El panticito se le moja y eso no es normal. Después de la disco nos vamos a Cuch. Calladito que ninguno se puede enterar. Dándome como cuando la conocí. Pegadita contra la pared. Esta noche solo es para mí. Tentándome como cuando la conocí. Pegadita contra la pared.
I love this always in this events, in demonstrations, in parades. We have the street food, and usually we have the mostrito. Mostrito is a combination of chow fan rice and fried chicken, Peruvian style fried chicken. What a hard job is to sell food in the middle of a big crowd, right? This lady is selling her mostritos, fried chicken with chow fan rice. She must be making a lot of money. The smell is really good. We are having some fights over here also. Wow, we are having also some confrontations because we are stopping the traffic. You know, traffic in a big city like Lima is bad usually, and everybody is on a rush. So it's understandable, of course, to imagine the position of the drivers that are not able to pass for several minutes. Well, we are being part of this parade, and on the other side, people is going to get even more angry, drivers, because this parade is going to be long. I am also sharing in this moment the image of the full length of this parade, which is going to end in a very important plaza. It is the Plaza San Martin. So several kilometers of parade, and also this is going to end with a big party for sure. Sí. And here we have the big flag, the gay pride flag. That is also the tradition in these events. This flag will be carried until the end of this big party. We are here with the flag, first row, first line, and sharing this event with you today. So here we are, very close to Plaza Bolognesi, one of the most important plazas we have in the historic center of Lima. Bolognesi's plaza is dedicated to Francisco Bolognesi, one of our national heroes, fighter and defender of Peruvian sovereignty during the War of the Pacific. He died, sadly, as a consequence of these fights, of this war, in the hands of Chileans, invaders of Peruvian territory, and well, after the war, territories he defended became a part of Chile and remain like that until nowadays. So this plaza is also very important, very symbolic, and it is also a plaza of fighters, a plaza of heroes, and we're seeing also all the type of heroes these days. We all can be heroes here in Peru, in the world. So we are getting into the oldest part of Lima. We are now in the Paseo Colón. This is also one of the oldest avenues of Lima. It was designed after the falling of the wall of the city in the year 1872, and all of the properties around date back to that period, to a period of wealth in Lima.
gracias, muchísimas gracias.